Hello and welcome back to our Resident Evil 2 retrospective. This is Daniel from Retro Haven, and this is the last video of our Resident Evil 2 retrospective. So, in this video we will dive into one of my favorite aspects of the game, which is Easter eggs and interesting facts about this game. Without further ado, let's go and find what kind of amazing things the development team hide behind the scene. 1. Capcom references. There are tons of Capcom references in Resident Evil 2, and you can find many of them easily, and some of them are more obscure. The first one that you will see is the first scene in the A scenario. So basically, when you put any disc inside the game, the first thing that you will see is a screen with a Capcom reference. If you look at the shop banners in the first screen when everything is on fire and the horde of zombies are on your ass, then you will see a shop named Arukas. Well, you might ask, what is Arukas? Just read it backward and you will see Sakura. This is the name of a character in Street Fighter series which is owned by Capcom as well. The second one is as well inside the beginning of the A scenario. When you reach the staircases, when you are trying to run away from the streets and go to police station, you will see a lot of banners. It's very hard to read them, but if you can magnify and read, one of them has the words Matsunami on them. Matsunami might not ring any bell for normal people, but it's an homage to the person who have created the background arts for this game. His full name is Yasuyuki Matsunami, and I gotta say that he did an amazing job, so he deserved this mention inside the game. There were other Capcom references as well, but I could find these two alone. So if you know about any of them, please let us know in the comment section down below. Mr. Bean in Raccoon City. At the beginning of the A scenario, just 2 screens before you reach the police station, you will see one of the most amazing things that I could find in this game. Yes, the lovely Mr. Bean was unlucky and had a trip to Raccoon City. He left his car beside a coffee shop in the road. And based on the things that we see in this screen, we may confirm that he ran away from the city. His car is identical to what you see in the series, so this is a bit of irony. A great homage to a very nice comedy things inside one of the most scary things that the world has ever seen. There are some amazing references toward Resident Evil 3 in this game, but back then we didn't know what is Resident Evil 3. But in time you could find these treasures and find out what happened to Jill and her friends. The first one is Bradvickers. This one is less obscure compared to the other ones. If you don't pick anything on your way to the police station, obviously playing on normal difficulty, you will find a zombified version of Bradvickers in the downstairs. These zombie Bradvickers take around 18 bullets to get down. And when you kill him, you will get one special key that will give you some new costumes and even a new handgun for Claire. Back then when I played this section, I was wondering what the hell happened to Brad, how did he die? And when Resident Evil 3 came, I found out that I was treated to a great Easter egg before I even knew it. Resident Evil 3 gates. The other reference of Resident Evil 3 you can find in Resident Evil 2 is the gate that Jill enters Raccoon City police station. Yes, this gate is available in Resident Evil 2, but I could not find a reliable way to access it. If you go in front of the RPD main door and insist on going in the opposite direction, you might be treated to a new camera angle that shows the screen that you will enter Raccoon City Police Department as Jill. You will see a lot of zombies there. You can take them down, but they cannot cross the gate. But it's amazing nonetheless. Reception room window bug. Yes, there is a logical bug in the game. If you go to the reception room from the main hall, you will see that there are a couple of windows toward the next room. But when you go to the next room, you will face a ramp before entering the door. So, how is it possible? If the door to the other side is around 1 meter higher, then how can the windows be at the same height? This is a logical error that the game designers and the art designers forget to address. But it's there nonetheless. Back to the Future. Someone in the Capcom art team loved Back to the Future because they put a huge reference about this movie inside the game. Honestly, I could never find this reference on my own back then because it's very obscure. When you go to the police station and you reach the STARS office, you will see a picture on a notice board behind the Rebecca's desk. We could not see what the picture is about back then inside the CRT monitors, but with modern technology, we have amplified the image, and as you can see, it's a picture of the Doc and Marty. Pervert Wesker. I really wanted to give a shout out to the person who found this Easter egg, because I could never even dream about finding it. If you go to the police station and reach the RPD STARS team office, you will see a huge desk at the front. That desk belongs to the Captain Wesker. If you check that desk 50 times, you will find a film roll. If you process this film roll downstairs, you will find more or less some kind of creepy image of Rebecca Chambers in basketball jersey. I don't know why Wesker kept this one, but he is a pervert nonetheless. You cannot trust someone who wears sunglasses in the night and inside any building he is, can you? Resident Evil 1 souvenirs. It seemed like some of the STARS members who have survived the Resident Evil 1 incident brought back some of the souvenirs to the STARS office. You can see that golden emblem you could use to open the door laying inside a box beside one of the desks. Furthermore, you can see the Made in Heaven jacket that belongs to Chris. If you don't remember this jacket inside the game, don't worry, it was available in one of the ports alone, and the original version on PS1 did not have this jersey. George A. Romero. Yes, the godfather of the zombie genre has some hands in Resident Evil 2. As a matter of fact, they gave him the full authority to create one amazing TV commercial for Resident Evil 2. That TV commercial is cheesy as hell. Leon looks like he has done with poverty a couple of days ago. But it's amazing to see these characters, and the vibe and the atmosphere of the RPD is amazing. Another thing that surprised me is that in this trailer, Claire uses a shotgun, something that never happens inside the real game. Another fun fact is that they gave him a chance to create a Resident Evil movie, and he has created one draft for the scenario. The scenario was about a Native American called Chris who's trying to find his girlfriend Jill and get involved with Umbrella. This script was rejected by the officials at Capcom, and instead they went for Paul W. Anderson to shed all over the legacy of Resident Evil with creating movies that are horrible. There are two major things related to Jill Valentine in Resident Evil 2. When you check her desk, you will find some curious thing. It's a picture of a man, and when you read the text, it says it might be her boyfriend. Who is Jill's boyfriend? We did not know that she has a boyfriend. Personally, I thought that she's in a relationship with Chris, but it never was confirmed inside the games. On the other hand, you can find one file called Jill's Diary, and in this file you will see the exact thing that the Jill narrates at the beginning of Resident Evil 3. So these two references worth something in my book. There are two major references to Shining. This movie made by Stanley Kubrick was one of the most amazing scary movies that the world has ever seen. The first reference to this movie is the typewriters. Obviously, the typewriter was a major part of that movie, and you can save your progress using typewriters in Resident Evil series. But the next one belongs to Resident Evil 2 and 2 alone. In the corridor leading to the interrogation room, you can see something written on the wall. If you try to read it, you will find the word Red Rum. So, what is Red Rum? If you have seen The Shining, you will see that it is the murder spelled backward. So, this is a direct reference to that movie, and no one can deny it. Welcome, Leon. So, as you might know, I'm not a native English speaking guy. When I was a kid, I did not know how to speak English properly, and the media such as video games helped me a lot in learning this amazing language. But the funny thing was that some of the games destroyed what I've learned. For example, in Resident Evil 2, when you reach the West Office, you will see signs of celebration that was prepared for Leon's arrival. There is one banner that's written, "Welcome Leon," with 2 L's for well. And stupid me thought this is the right way to write welcome. And for a long time I was wrong, I was dead wrong. And all the blame goes to Capcom. This one was so funny that in Resident Evil 2 Remake, they have made some subtle reference to that. And I will take care of that when we reach to the remake. So if you have watched our previous videos on Resident Evil 2 enemies, you would know that the hunters were absent in the Resident Evil 2 enemies roster. But this is not always true, because if you use the zapping system, you will find the corpse of one of them inside the secret lab room. We don't know how they did end up there, we don't know who killed them, but it's amazing to see one of the enemies was animated for the series and was not used within the game. Suffering with no relief. Yes, you might have a good chuckle on this one if you know what I mean. In the whole Raccoon City police station, you cannot find even one single toilet. So I gotta say that Leon was lucky that he did not start his work, and the first day of his work was the last day of Raccoon City police station, because it seems that he had to use a bucket or go outside anytime the nature calls. Breakable cameras. This one is one of the most fascinating things that I found inside the game. In some specific areas, you can shoot the camera using shotgun. I found 3 instances of such situation. One of them close to parking lot, another one before boarding the train in the middle of the game, and the third one was inside the Umbrella Lab near the boiler. So please let me know if you know about any other location in the game that you can shoot the camera. Soda crisis. There are multiple vending machines available inside the RPD station, and in the early demos, you could clearly see that they belong to Pepsi, Coca-Cola and other major brands. But this finally led to some problems for the Capcom, and they had to change the look of the soda vending machines. So the soda vending machines you will see inside the game will never be the same after knowing this one. So, how many of these did you know about? If you know about anything that we have missed, please leave a comment and let us know about the mistake that we have made in this video. And like our channel and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share our video with your friends so we can have more awesome audiences such as yourself. And click on the bell icon down here so you get notified about every single video that we release. With that said, this is Daniel from Retro Haven, and I will see you guys in the next video series.